Growing up, I always felt like the backdrop in a two-person play starring my sister, Lily, as the cherished lead. Our parents never tried to hide their preference for her. It was like living in a house where I was the guest, and Lily was the princess. From as early as I can remember, Lily got everything, the best dresses, the new toys, and most importantly, their attention. I got hand-me-downs, stuff from bargain bins, and the occasional nod that yes, I existed too. One evening, I was about 10, I remember sitting at the dinner table. Dad was going on about Lily's school project. "Look at this castle Lily made. Isn't it something?" Dad said, his eyes lighting up like Christmas trees as he held up a glitter-covered cardboard castle. Mom nodded, beaming at Lily. "It's beautiful, sweetheart. You're so talented." I had made a volcano that actually erupted, but it was sitting on the other end of the table, unnoticed. "Mine erupts," I muttered, but no one paid attention. Lily, with her bright green eyes sparkling, leaned over and whispered loud enough for only me to hear. "It's just baking soda and vinegar. Not a big deal." I clenched my fists under the table, feeling my face heat up. But I stayed quiet. Arguing with Lily only made things worse, because somehow, I always ended up being the bad guy. Grandma was the only one who saw through it all. She lived with us, thank God, and she was my one ally. One day, after a particularly nasty episode where Lily had blamed me for breaking a vase I hadn't even touched, Grandma pulled me aside. "You know, Anna, your parents might not see everything, but I do. You're just as special, never doubt that," she said, her voice firm and reassuring. "I wish they could see that too," I replied, looking down at my scuffed shoes. Grandma hugged me tightly. "I've told your dad time and again. Children should be loved equally." But it never changed. As we grew up, Lily turned into a master of manipulation. She had our parents wrapped around her finger, and anything she did wrong somehow got pinned on me. One day, I overheard her talking on the phone with a friend. "Anna is such a loser. She thinks Mom and Dad actually care about her. It's hilarious." I stormed into her room, furious. "Why do you have to be like this, Lily? What have I ever done to you?" She just smirked, her red hair like a halo of fire around her wicked grin. "Oh, Anna, don't be such a drama queen. Everyone knows I'm the good one here." I wanted to yell, to scream that she wasn't, that she was lying and cruel. But I knew better. It would just end in tears, mine. Instead, I walked away, my heart pounding, knowing I had to get out of this house as soon as I could. When high school ended, and I got into college, I was ready to leave and never look back. But my parents refused to pay for my tuition. They said it was because I wasn't serious enough about my future. Luckily, Grandma stepped in. She paid my fees, telling me to use this chance to build a life for myself, away from the shadow of my sister. College was like stepping into another world, one where no one knew about Lily or how I was always the second choice in my family. It felt like I could finally breathe, like I was shedding an old skin that never really fit me in the first place. The first person I met on campus was Carla, my roommate. She was from another state and didn't know a thing about me, which was refreshing. Carla had this straightforward way of talking that I wasn't used to back home. "Hey, I'm Carla. You're Anna, right? Let's make this room cool, okay?" she said as soon as I walked into our tiny dorm room, her words direct and devoid of any pretense. "Sure, sounds good to me," I replied, grateful for her easy demeanor. In those first few weeks, Carla showed me around, introducing me to her friends and pulling me into her social circle. I was hesitant at first, unsure how to act when no one expected me to fail or fade into the background. Hanging out with Carla and her friends, I realized they spoke their minds, no filters, no walking on eggshells. It was all straightforward and, honestly, kind of liberating. "Anna, you gotta loosen up. We're all here to have a good time, not judge each other," Carla said one night as we sat in the common room, surrounded by laughter and the smell of microwave popcorn. "I know, I'm just not used to this," I admitted, feeling a bit out of place, but welcome at the same time. Well, get used to it. You're with us now, she said with a wink. As the semester went on, I started joining study groups, attending class regularly, and really throwing myself into my marketing courses. My professors noticed. Miss Grant, your project was impressive. You have a knack for this, Professor Jacobs commented one day after class, handing back a paper I'd written with a high grade on it. Thank you, Professor. I really enjoyed working on it, I said, feeling a pride I hadn't known before. At the end of my first year, I got a summer internship at a local marketing firm. I was over the moon. I called Grandma to tell her the news. That's wonderful, Anna. I knew you could do it. Grandma's voice crackled over the phone, filled with genuine pride. Thanks, Grandma. I couldn't have done it without your help, I replied, feeling a lump in my throat. And you'll do even more. Just watch, she said, her confidence in me unshakable. By the time senior year rolled around, I was a different person. I had confidence, real friends, and a career path that excited me. College gave me the freedom to be who I wanted to be, away from the shadow of my family's expectations and Lily's manipulative antics. After graduation, I landed a job at a well-known cosmetology company in the city. But it wasn't just my career that was about to change, my personal life was on the brink of something entirely new. It all started at a city exhibition where different companies showcased their products. I was in charge of our company's booth, explaining the benefits of our latest skincare line to anyone who showed interest. Looks like you really know your stuff, a voice said from behind me. I turned around to see a tall guy with an easy smile watching me. Thanks. I try, I responded, brushing a loose strand of hair from my face. I'm Michael, he introduced himself, extending his hand. Anna, I replied, shaking his hand. There was an immediate, undeniable spark. We chatted casually at first about the products and the exhibition. But then, the conversation shifted. Michael was funny, throwing jokes left and right, making me laugh more than I had in a long while. And so, half-jokingly, we set up a date for the following weekend. Dinner turned into seeing each other almost every weekend after that. Michael was different. He listened when I talked, really listened. He cared about what I thought and felt, which was a new and wonderful experience for me. The months flew by, filled with little moments and big feelings. Before I knew it, a year had passed, and we were seriously discussing our future together. One night, over a quiet dinner at our favorite little Italian place, Michael looked more serious than usual. He took a deep breath. Anna, how would you feel about making this official? Like, really official? I knew what he meant, but I needed to hear him say it. Are you asking what I think you're asking? I prompted him. Michael nodded, taking my hands in his. Marry me, Anna. Let's start our own story. Tears sprang to my eyes, not from sadness, but from a profound happiness that flooded through me. Yes, Michael, I'll marry you. Getting engaged to Michael was like a dream. I was over the moon, floating through my days with a goofy grin plastered on my face. But when it came to actually planning the wedding, reality hit hard and fast, especially when my family got involved. I remember calling my parents to tell them the news. Their response was lukewarm at best. That's nice, dear, Mom said, her voice strained. But are you sure about this? You know how these things can be rushed. I clenched my jaw, trying to keep my cool. Yes, Mom, I'm sure. Michael is great, and we're really happy together. Well, if you say so, she sighed, and then quickly changed the subject. The trouble really started when I went home to discuss the wedding plans. The air was thick with tension the minute I stepped into the house. Dad was the first to bring up the elephant in the room. You know, Lily should really help with the wedding. She has such good taste, Dad suggested, casting a meaningful glance at Mom. Lily, who'd been surprisingly quiet, suddenly lit up. Oh, absolutely. I'd love to help plan your wedding, Anna. I was suspicious. Lily and helping didn't usually go in the same sentence unless it benefited her directly. but before I could decline, Mom chimed in. It would be such a nice way